Celeste. How are you
Hi,
today?
Bonnie. I'm so good. I have a show coming out on Sunday. I'm really excited.
Say you should be pretty proud and pretty happy because I binged through the entire 8 episodes. I had to know what happens. And so, hello, why not for season 2, my dear? Fingers crossed. But this is so much fun. Of course, based on the 1989 classic movie, The Burbs. We get a lot of little Easter eggs there, which I loved. But for you, before we talk about like what inspired you, I just got to know what kind of neighborhood did you grow up in? Because were you ever suspicious of your neighbors?
Absolutely. I think everyone has a fun, weird neighbor story. But no, I grew up in as a mixed kid, as a black woman in a very white neighborhood outside of just outside of Boston.
Yeah.
So that was one of the big influences for the show and for Kiki's perspective and what it's like to be a black woman in a white neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is so much fun because not just, having Keke and Jack Whitehall at the, core of this, but what an amazing cast. Like cast of characters. I don't know, the people in this cul-de-sac are kooky as all can be, but I love them all. How much fun did you have seeing this vision come to life with this cast?
Oh, it was the best. Finding the loveliest, funniest humans was just such a joy. And I truly say everyone became friends and had such a great time. And I hope the fun that the cast had together is apparent in the show. But no, it was so great to be able to give these quirky, complex roles to actors who usually you see do the comedy side, but can really
Right?
carry the emotional heft of these stories. And I think they were all really excited to do it. And it was so amazing to be able to, laugh 1 second with these characters and cry the next. And I think everyone will be able to find a piece of themselves in one of these characters and want to return and hang out with them week to week.
Oh, big time. And what I love so much, Celeste, kudos to you, is that you really, there's some scary parts, like a little bit you're on the edge, like, oh, don't go into the house or whatever it is, right? And then there's so much humor infused. How challenging was that for you when you were writing this to keep that balance?
Yeah, I've always written dramedy. That's just, how I view the world. It's both funny and dark at the same time. So
Yeah.
anything I write, that's what I want to infuse with it. And I've been fortunate enough to write on such great shows that really walk that tonal line. But it was such a blast to be able to also infuse this like horror element to it. And we had such a great writers' room with everyone had such diverse backgrounds in terms of genre and tone. And so we were able to really kind of pull all of our strengths together and create a tone that can play in all different sandboxes.
Yeah. And I understand that this was shot on the same set, the same lot that the Burbs, the movie with Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. And, that I like that just gives me chills when I so like to be on that because I've been on that backlot before. I mean, we've seen it in Desperate Housewives, we've seen it, but it always looks different, and you always get that different feel. So for you to be on that set, what was that like?
It was incredible. We were so fortunate to be able to A, shoot in Los Angeles, but B, to be on the original cul-de-sac of the movie, which is just such a foundation for not only the Burbs, but for so many great shows and movies that Universal has made. And it was so fun to make it our own. Our production designer, Susie Mancini, and her team really came in and just developed the facades of these houses to feel unique and welcoming and warm. And then when it came to the Victorian, they just absolutely crushed it
Oh,
and made it into its own character. But yeah, it was just an honor to be able to be there every day. The Victorian was originally the Munster Mansion. The Fisher House, where Rob and Samira live, is the original mansion the original house that Carrie Fisher and Tom Hanks lived
yeah.
in the movie. And we really, really wanted to both honor the street like we honor the movie and make it our own.
Yeah, yeah, you certainly did. Okay, so going back to, being living in a creepy neighborhood. Okay, so if you had somebody on your street you were a little bit suspicious of, would you handle that? Or would you just call the cops?
I wouldn't call the cops, but I will say there has been some drama on my. I actually live on a cul-de-sac in Los Angeles, and it's very quiet. And I always tell this story. One of my neighbors shot one of my other neighbors in the leg because one was trespassing on the property. It was a whole thing.
Oh,
So that's something you would call the cops for. But unless you know that something really bad is happening, which I think our imagination often runs away with the
for
actual
sure.
story.
Yeah.
I'd mind my own business.
I hear ya. I listen. I'm in the same boat. Like I used to live on a street like that, and I was like, just lock my door and keep my mouth shut for sure.
Yeah.
Although
If
I
they're
do
not
like
bothering
wine
me.
parties. I do like wine parties. I think those are very important to have.
Absolutely. I
100.
find myself ready on shows where wine and drinking is a really big part of
I
it.
agree. I agree. Well, congratulations on everything. You did a great job with this series. We're going to love it here in Canada. And thank you so much for your time today. Celeste, good luck
Thank
with everything.
you.
Thank you.
So nice to
Okay.
meet you.